It's Luke and Naomi.
Welcome to episode 51. We actually came back.
We did. Surprise, surprise.
After a lot of fun 4th of July week, too. There's no way we could have done a show last week at all.
No, absolutely
Absolutely not. That's how much fun we had.
That's right.
It was a lot of fun. We played Can Jam for the first time
In years.
in years.
I missed it so much.
It was so many years since we played Can Jam.
Got some Can Jam
No, it's a
in.
year because we played at camp last year with my brothers.
Oh, that's true.
There was just
Okay.
a lot of adult
Fine.
sodas there.
Yeah. It feels like it's been forever. There was Can Jam, did some cooking on the barbecue. It was good.
Good food, good friends. We had a pretty solid week and did some a beach in it too.
That's right. Sunrise beach trip.
Sunrise beach trip. That was great. Naomi literally had to drag me out of bed at some hour in the morning. I couldn't tell you when.
I don't know, because the sun rose at like 6:03 that day, I believe. So, oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure we made it.
We did. We did make it.
I wasn't paying attention to the clocks at that
No.
point in time. I was just
I
like,
was
hey,
rushing them at
is
the end,
sun
though.
up? I don't know.
I was like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. We're gonna miss it. We're gonna miss it, and we're gonna have to redo this.
Then we got there, set up a couple chairs, and it was, wake up, you're going to miss it.
That's right. Don't be sleeping, drink your coffee.
And then, no kidding, we brought coffee. We brought some waters. We may or may not have brought a beer or two and a whole bunch of food.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were there all day.
It was a 10-hour beach day.
10-hour beach day. That's what we
Yeah.
did. That's got to be a record for us, right? I mean,
I'm pretty
we've
sure.
done some pretty long beach days on vacation.
But not like that.
Not like that,
No.
for sure. It was a really good. Lots of food. It was probably the most food we ever eaten at the beach. I mean,
I think so.
we like Naomi makes sandwiches before we go.
Yeah.
And then we throw in, granola bars and some chips and whatnot. And
I brought hamburgers at that time.
that's right.
Yeah.
We ate cold, leftover hamburgers, but they were prepared cold.
Yeah. They were still tasty.
I
I
mean-
liked them. I'd eat them again.
Yeah, I leftover. I said leftover,
Yeah.
just in case anybody's like, "What the hell?"
Well, they were from on the grill before. So we just, instead of heating them up because we're at the beach, we're like, put it on a bun.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Yep, and so Naomi put them together, decorated them with all the pickles and stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah.
I like pickles and barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
And
Cheese.
bacon, of course, but I figured that's a given at that point. But yeah, ton of food on the beach. Great beach day. That was,
Took a nap.
what day was that? It was one of the days we were off.
Tuesday or Monday?
Monday, because Tuesday was the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And ironically, we didn't do much on the 4th of July,
Which was fine.
which was fine.
Recuperating from backyard camping and beach trips.
Yeah, for sure.
You need that.
Definitely a pretty solid week of nothingness.
Yeah.
I mean,
relaxing.
it was fun. Just fun. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Burnt my feet up pretty good.
That's right.
I mean, and it was not sunburn either. Went to the car and just didn't think that it was, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and
Yeah, and it's like 90 plus
just
at the beach.
didn't, and then I got more than halfway to the car before I realized, oh, it's that bad,
Yeah.
and it was too
And
late.
now I'm stuck.
I was
I
stuck.
can either go straight and keep burning my feet or go backwards and keep burning my feet.
Or just drop to my hands and knees and burn everything.
Yeah.
It was rough for a good, 90 seconds straight of just ow. So that was pretty bad until we got home and got to relax and put some socks on, and then it was all better. I mean, it wasn't like an actual burn, but it was rough for a while there.
Oh, yeah.
It was rough going, touch and go for a minute. I don't know. I'm trying to channel Michael Scott when he burned his foot on his George Foreman grill.
Okay.
I burned my foot. So that
Did
was.
you need an MRI for it?
I could have gotten one, but I didn't want to take the time.
That's right. Yeah.
It was a pretty solid week. Anyway, and that's about it. I don't.
That's it?
Oh, we saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse
That's right.
just Sunday night. That was really, really good. And spoiler alert, it is a cliffhanger. I don't know how I let that slip by. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
So super good movie, and
Get ready to wait.
they got you hooked for the next one, which I believe is like March of 2024.
By the way, can I say how ridiculous that is? I gotta wait how many months? Like 9 months for an answer? Like,
Well, listen, Dune,
Dude.
when they released the first Dune movie, then that was when 2021,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you have to wait until, I think that's coming out this year. So that was
I forgot about that movie. I don't even care anymore.
It was a full 2-year wait. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
No.
And that shouldn't be a cliffhanger. I think they're stopping that at 2.
We'll see.
But I'll definitely look into it before we
you
get into
drag me to another movie theater, make me get all invested in it, and I don't get an ending.
But yeah, the Across the Spider-Verse movie was.
It was good, though.
It was definitely good. They brought a couple of ones back from the last time, and a couple of new ones, and pretty cool idea for a story. So that was a lot of fun. That is about it. We have an awesome review of Good Will Hunting coming up.
That's right. We got serious
It's
over here.
first time I've watched Good Will Hunting in a while. I forgot how much I liked that movie. It's such a good movie, and it was so much fun to see some good Robin Williams again too. That's coming up, and a good serious movie like Naomi said. So we're gonna move it right along to your random facts, your weekly dose of Did You Know? I'm going to double up on these because we skipped a week last week.
As long as they're good.
Well, I hope.
All right.
Let's find out together. There we go. We're going to start with that one. No, we're going to start with that one. All right. No, we're going to start with this one.
Make up your mind.
Did you know that the script Charlton Heston holds in the movie Earthquake? Have you ever seen the movie Earthquake?
No.
Of course you haven't. From the 70s or something like that. I think like late 70s. One of the first disaster movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that's something I'd be interested in watching, though.
All right, we should throw that on the list.
Bad graphics.
Oh,
Earthquake.
boy. Yeah.
And everyone's just standing there shaking like nothing's actually going on.
That's exactly how that was
I am here
done.
for this. Add it to the list.
So he's holding, Charlton Heston's holding a script in the movie Earthquake as he's running lines with Genevieve Buchholz, I think is how you say her name. It's actually the script for the movie they're in. And it's actually the page of that is
What's
being shot
happening.
that day.
Yeah.
So basically he didn't know his lines and was holding on to it.
There you go. Yeah, that's what it was.
Did you know the Buick LaCrosse was renamed the Allure when it debuted in Canada in 2004? The Buick Allure.
Okay.
Because in Quebec, apparently cross is a slang term for fiddling around with yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you don't want to name a vehicle after that because here comes all the jokes.
But apparently by 2010, Buick stopped caring because they changed it back.
I was going to say, I thought I heard of a lacrosse.
Yes,
Yeah.
but in Canada, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, did you know babies have around 300 bones at birth?
Yeah.
And then eventually they fuse together to become the 206?
Yes.
That's weird.
I did know that.
Did you know Speed 2, Cruise Control, only got positive reviews from 2 of the major film critics, and they were both Siskel and Ebert.
Makes sense. It's all you need, you know? Got them on your side, you're good to go.
Did you know it is a federal crime to reuse a stamp?
I didn't, but I can see that. You know, the federal government can be sticklers
It
about
can get
things.
you up to a year in prison.
Can you imagine that? What are you in for? I reused a stamp.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Badass.
That's pretty intense there.
Yeah.
All right, a couple of more. Did you know Michael Jackson composed some of the music for the Sega Genesis game Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
Did not know that.
That is just strange.
Yeah.
If you had told me Prince, I would have been like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I know, because Prince is,
Everything.
a whole bunch of music on the most random things. I forgot what movie it was we were watching, and he,
Oh, Batman.
was it?
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? Why? This is a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Why do we got Prince over here? What's going on?
It was the 80s. Did you know the first jersey number retired by the Miami Heat was Michael Jordan's number 23, even though he never played for Miami?
Okay.
They retired it out of respect in 2003. 6 years before they had a player of their own whose number they retired.
That's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
It is weird. I wonder
Miami,
who that
what
player
you
is.
doing?
Who is that? Was it Alonzo Mourning maybe? Or anyway.
You're asking the wrong person.
Did you know the last person elected president with a net worth under $1 million was Harry S. Truman in 1945? Nothing weird going on there at all.
No, not at all.
Did you know the movie Showgirls is America's highest grossing NC-17 movie ever?
Okay.
Even though it only made $20 million since it was released in 95. That part doesn't surprise me. They make a ton of money. But the
okay.
highest grossing NC-17 movie ever. Because of Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And finally, did you know When with the film Meet the Fockers, the Motion Picture Association of America, or MPAA, I think that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
They would not allow the use of the name Focker unless the filmmakers could find an actual person with the last name.
And I bet you they did.
And apparently they did, because that's what name they used.
Yeah. I loved it because my grandma would always say the name to that movie, and she could not say Fockers. She said the other word.
That's awesome.
And that's, my petite 90-pound grandma who's like 5'1", who says, "Oh, damn," and then covers her mouth because she said the D word.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. It was the funniest thing. I tried to get her to say it on purpose all the time.
I would all the time. Hand me that movie. I forget what it's called. It's right there.
What is that? What's the movie with, Ben Stiller and...
That is great.
Yeah.
Oh, way to go, Grandma.
That's right.
So, a couple of quick other ones here. This one, strange, because a mathematician says he came up with a new swear word.
Okay.
But he says it's the perfect swear word, mathematician and all.
Okay.
So she took a list of 186, cuss words.
Okay. I didn't know there was that many.
And narrowed it down to the 45 best ones in her opinion. 186? Oh, I bet you I could have fun trying to figure out that list.
I think you could too, but I don't think that's something appropriate for our podcast.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
That's actually perfectly appropriate for a podcast because there are no actual rules.
Yeah, that's true.
So, we could do that. Just not on broadcast.
Which I get. I'm just, we're still slightly family friendly here.
We do try to be. So you can have the kids in the car and you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. My point proven.
Yes, exactly. I do agree. Even though I let them slip every now and then.
Yeah.
This reminds me a little bit of a few years back when we were on the area in Roswell doing mornings. We had an episode where we did, what is your, alternate swears? What do you say, fiddly-dee instead of whatever? Or
and someone was like, Guns N' Roses. That was one of my favorites.
We had a solid list from that episode. That was super fantastic. There was a couple of really good ones there. So, yeah, this kind of reminds me of that. So this mathematician took a list of cuss words, narrowed it down to her favorite 45, the best ones in her opinion, and used an algorithm to create a new word that's supposed to be the ultimate curse word. The algorithm said the ideal swear word has 4 letters, starts with a B.
Okay.
All right. Apparently because there are more B words on the list than any other, though. It also has to have an ER tacked onto the end. And so the algorithm came up with banger. BANGER, just in case you can't, I didn't say it clearly or whatever, but banger. That's the ultimate cuss word.
But I thought it was only supposed to have 4 letters.
Yeah, it's got the
So wouldn't that just be bang?
Bang.
Bang.
Bang it.
I mean, it works.
Anyway, most people agree it's not very good. Even the mathematician admitted it's not as satisfying as some of the top real cuss words.
Well, here, I'll solve this for you. Maybe don't leave it to, computers or doing an algorithm or any of that kind of stuff. Maybe let it be creative because that's where you get the best, cuss words or alternate cuss words.
Well, it's funny you say that because the article I'm reading says she's still tweaking the algorithm, so maybe it'll come up with a better one someday. So basically, it's like when you do one of those online quizzes and you try to make yourself William Shatner.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You just keep going, keep going.
Which Game of Thrones character are you? Not
That's
Reek.
right.
You just don't want Reek. That's all. You got to keep taking it so you don't get that. She's doing this because studies have found swearing can help with pain when you hurt yourself. So her goal.
That's why she's doing it. Okay.
She says the goal is basically the perfect word to yell when you stub your toe or bang your shin or.
I'm still leaning towards Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. That's fantastic. I forgot all about that. We're gonna have to see if
we can find those.
We
had a whole bunch of them written down.
I have a lot of our old shows.
Yeah.
But I don't know if everything's labeled and how all of that junk.
Not.
So.
There was a lot of shows. It's hard to go through and label all of them. There was
a lot of shows. But anyway, that was cool. We had a lot better answers than banger.
Yeah, we did. We had some great ones.
I mean, it's fun to say. I get that. But banger? Meh.
That doesn't sound like a cuss, though.
It doesn't sound like it fits.
No.
I mean, like the F word can be every part of speech at some point. There's that famous deal there. But, like, banger? I
can't.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
She's just wasting time now.
Speaking of cussing at stuff, Variety, Variety, the magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Variety.
I thought you were talking about the spice of life. Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
Variety magazine put out a list of their top 10 all-time Disney villains.
Okay.
And I know we've got a couple of Disney adults hanging out around the show. So
yeah, not looking at you, Snowman and Tori.
So I figure this one's bound to cause some sort of something, right? But
yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts, too, because you've seen most of these movies as well. The top 10 Disney villains, number 10, Jafar from Aladdin.
Okay, yeah, sure. He's evil.
I feel like he's easily top 10. That's pretty solid. Captain Hook from Peter Pan's number 9.
Okay.
Like Kay. I love Captain Hook. I'm a huge Peter Pan guy. You don't know Peter Pan at all. I'm gonna make Naomi watch Peter Pan before I let her watch Hook with Robin Williams. Just because she's got to know some backstory. But anyway, Captain Hook, well, he is chasing children and, literally sword fighting with children throughout the whole series and all that. I could have put Jafar ahead of him. Number 8, I love this. The humans in Bambi. Someone online I saw commented and said, the villain's so evil they couldn't even show their faces.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, the humans
okay,
in
that's
Bambi.
an interesting one.
Now, it's great, and I get it, it's funny and all that stuff. I think I would take it out of there there's got to be something that's missing off this list, for sure. Number 7, Lady Tremaine from Cinderella. I don't know who the hell that is. Is that the wicked stepmother, or the evil stepmother?
It's gotta be. Who else would it be?
I never knew her name.
Well, now you do. If it's that.
All right.
If we're all wrong, then I don't know. Ask Snowman and Tori. They would know.
That's right. So I'll expect a message at some point there. Number 6, Isma from The Emperor's New Groove.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I like that. I
missed that movie. That movie that's a good movie.
Now, I was out by that time. So I don't know.
You have not seen it?
I believe my sister watched it a lot.
I'm sure she
Which
did.
makes sense because
it's a great movie.
So Isma, number 6 on the list.
I really want to watch that now.
That's great. Number 5 it's Gaston, right? From Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I've never seen Beauty and the Beast.
Really?
Yeah. Home video and all that stuff weren't things when I was a kid, and I had no interest in, that is a full-on Disney princess movie, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've also never seen the swimming one, the girl who swims.
The swimming one?
The Little Mermaid. I totally just stroked out there a little bit.
The girl who swims.
Well, she does, right?
AKA the Little Mermaid. Can someone write that down, please? Remember that as one of Luke's best sayings ever. Just the girl who swims. That's how you summarize the Little Mermaid.
All right, number 4.
She doesn't really have a choice,
I'm trying to plow
That's
through
how she
this.
gets around.
Number 4, Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians.
I was hoping that was going to be on the list because that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Is it?
Yeah, because she's crazy and she's going to kill puppies for a coat.
See,
that is evil.
I would even consider moving her to top 3.
And Gaston burns books and all that and doesn't like bell reading. So that from Beauty and the Beast, he definitely deserves being up in the top too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's 10 through 4. Jafar, Captain Hook, the humans, Lady Tremaine, Isma, Gaston, Cruella de Vil. The top 3. Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Is she worse than Cruella de Vil?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the classic curse and all that.
Yeah, but she tricks that girl into
not being able to talk.
Taking her soul,
Yeah, basically, is that? Well, I mean, I know in the real, the story that Disney stole it from, the witch cuts out her tongue and all that stuff.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's it gets legit.
No, I mean Ursula does some
family
bad
friendly
things.
show here. You have the kids in the car.
You haven't seen the movie, so Ursula makes herself to be beautiful and all that, and tries to steal away Prince Charming so she doesn't get the kiss and all of that kind of stuff. She legit tries to just ruin Ariel. So she is definitely bad, but so is Cruella Cruella de Vil because she's trying to kill puppies. I mean, you got two of like the worst people right there.
All right. Well, that's 4 and 3, Cruella and Ursula.
So we got two more that are worse.
That's what I'm
killing
asking.
Puppies and stealing souls.
Now, Scar from the Lion King is, I think, top 2 in my opinion.
Scar is bad. Scar is very bad.
So the other thing,
But he's not killing puppies.
okay, so somebody
He's killing lions.
we did this. We talked about this on my station, Sunny 103.7 here in Wilmington, and we did this on their Facebook page too. And somebody commented and said Scar ate Mufasa. I don't recall.
Well, I know the hyenas eat Scar in the end. Was it implied that that's what happens, and that's why he tells little Simba to run and has the hyenas chase him while he's staying back there? I mean, that's a cat thing, right? I mean, cats will eat anything.
I don't.
So I don't know.
Now, I want to throw this out there too. Maybe it was my naivete at 10 years old when I watched The Lion King for the first time, and I just let that stick with. I never put the 2 and 2 together that they were eating Scar at the end until just right now. I thought they were just like,
the hyenas are coming after him because they're hungry. They've been starving.
Whooping his ass is all I can.
No, they're going to eat him.
He's terrible.
Dinner.
All right. Well.
Don't look at me like that, and the tongue's all hanging out. Yeah, it's dinner time.
No kidding.
We gotta go back and watch The Lion King.
Did I really miss? Anyway, maybe I just don't remember it now, but okay, cool. Number 1 on the list, Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, I don't know that movie, so I can't really say, but I betcha she's not killing puppies, so I think it's wrong.
I never watched actual Maleficent. I saw the beginning of it or something like that with Angelina Jolie.
What about Sleeping Beauty?
What the hell sleeping? She falls asleep.
Yeah.
And then the prince has to come and kiss her. I don't even remember anything before that. Why is she sleeping? Don't remember.
Maybe the lady put a curse on her.
So, Snowman and Tori.
Help.
And Mark and Tracy, really, if they're listening too.
Yeah. Is she really worse than Cruella de Vil and Ursula? Because I really think that those two should be tied for number 1. Because that's pretty bad.
Snowman, I expect an essay.
Yeah. Give us some details.
Yeah, with bibliography. But no, for real. Like,
Credit your sources.
What is the argument? Everybody, if anybody is like, yeah, Maleficent. Like, tell me why. I need to know why. That has thrown me off because I could easily put Scar and Cruella de Vil at number 1, top 10. Cruella de Vil tried to kill 100 puppies, not just a puppy. She's
101 puppies.
Yes, 101 puppies. She tried to kill.
Yeah, for a coat.
Anyway.
It's a long coat.
There we are.
Yeah.
That's the top 10 list of Disney villains of all time. Any that didn't make... I believe Variety had one or a couple outside that. I should have pulled up that list instead.
Yeah.
I just pulled up the top 10, but there's bound to be a couple out there that we're not thinking of.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of movies that I watched all the time as a kid. All I'm thinking about is Anastasia, and I'm like, I don't remember the bad guy in that one.
I don't really remember that either.
Yeah.
What's the bad guy from Hercules?
Oh, Hades, right?
Hades, yes. Yeah. James Woods, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he wasn't a really good bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he tried, but I don't know.
And then maybe, I'm trying to go Jungle Book, but, like, I don't...
I like how we're trying to do this on the spot. This is,
Yeah, absolutely. The thinking times.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe King John from Robin Hood with the animals. I absolutely love that one too, and that's one I want to watch again. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh man, that's
we'll have to do like a Disney movie night and just go through all of these.
There is a ton of the new ones that I haven't seen that I wouldn't mind. There's a couple here, and I'm not talking about like Frozen or anything like that.
No, oh gosh, no.
There's a couple that look like I would watch
like
them.
Inside Out and
yeah.
What's the new one that's out? Like
Elemental?
Elemental, yes. I thought that looked pretty good.
We watched the Red Panda one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. That was fun.
That's good.
But anyway, okay. That's the top 10 Disney villains of all time, according to Variety. Anybody wants to let us know why Maleficent should be number one, I would absolutely love to know that. It'd be funny as hell to find out. I've been saying that wrong this whole time, too.
You could be. I have no idea.
There you go. So that's, you can just let us know on Facebook on any of the posts or whatever. Shoot us a personal message or whatever. DM. Slide into those DMs.
That's right.
About Disney villains.
That's weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, nerd life.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Or did I get it backwards? Anyway,
You did.
what's the scariest movie that isn't a horror movie?
No, there's a few.
Fantasia? Have you ever seen Fantasia?
Yes, I have. That's not scary.
Freaked me out. First time I saw it. Well, I watched that in Catholic school, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
There's just some weird parts in Fantasia that's weird.
Yeah.
So what's the scariest movie that isn't a horror movie? Got some good answers.
All right.
Let's see here. Oh, Ralph, that's funny.
What?
I'm not gonna get into all that stuff. You can see afterwards.
All right.
Young Carl, who's the new a couple of years ago or a year ago co-host to Pollywog on Big Frog 104 up in Utica, New York. Young Carl says Rubber, which is actually a horror movie, so I can't. It's like a horror comedy.
Isn't that where like the tire?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a tire hunting people down or whatever it is. I had to look it up. And so hilarious, but it's sort of a horror movie. So, what's the scariest movie that's not a horror movie? Not even designated a horror movie. Which you can come up with a few here and there. Gino says Idiocracy, which is...
Ouch.
We just watched that recently.
Ouch. I hate watching that movie.
That
like it because once in a while it's entertaining, but then I hate it because it ruins my brain for like at least 6 months.
That's a tough movie to watch.
I just like give up on everything.
Yeah, that is a tough movie to watch.
Yeah.
We're almost there. Relika says Schindler's List, which we're talking real life events and all of that stuff. That's a sobering, real good answer. Yeah. Paul says as a kid, parts of Jurassic Park scared him a ton.
Okay, I can see that. Dinosaurs. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple of that like the kitchen scene with the raptors.
Yeah.
Woo.
Intense.
That was definitely freaky. Let's see here. Snowman says Never-Ending Story.
Okay.
And Dark Crystal.
Okay.
Don't think either one of us have ever seen Dark Crystal.
No.
I know I've seen parts of it when I was a kid, but I don't remember enough of it to say I actually remember it. So Never-Ending Story and Dark Crystal. Never-Ending Story for sure has some scary parts, which is funny because that's what my dad's comment was. He says, in the Never-Ending Story, the nothing is scary. He says, and those kids go through some dangerous moments and places. You sound like an old man, Pop. That's great. Those kids go through some danger,
Wasn't that another one of those 80s movies?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's super fantasy, too. So, they're in a whole other world and all that stuff. So, but they do. They go through them. Anyway.
Yeah.
Brando says he had a nightmare about the Oompa Loompas that they cooked his mom.
Oh, my gosh.
This is a nightmare when he was a kid.
I'm not trying to laugh, but...
And we're talking the Gene Wilder Oompa Loompas. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't like the look of it.
They tried to cook your mom?
They tried to cook his mom. He says he freaks out anytime Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory comes on. He says they're forever in my nightmares. That is funny. Oh my
gosh.
They're not only scary, but they're freaky as hell.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's why when they did the Johnny Depp one, it was like, all right, these guys are terrible. Or this guy, because it was just one dude.
Yeah.
And they just released a trailer, by the way, for a new Willy Wonka. Timothy Chalamet, the dude who's the main character in Dune.
Okay.
He's going to be Wonka. And it's going to be a similar, like, to the Roald Dahl one, which I believe they tried to do with Johnny Depp. Anyway, the Oompa Loompas. Terrifying.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the boat scene. Willy Wonka could be scary if you watch it, at the right time.
Sure.
Yeah. Michael says Nightcrawler.
I don't know that.
I haven't seen that either. And,
how about The Martian?
The Martian?
Yeah, being stuck on Mars.
That is an awesome answer.
That would be freaky.
I've watched the hell out of that movie.
First of all, I wouldn't be on my way to Mars to begin with, because that's not happening. But if I was, like, being stuck there, that is scary. All by yourself on a completely different planet.
Yeah.
It's just as bad as Castaway and being stuck on your own little island.
Castaway's a good one, too.
I think Castaway's worse, though, because you know people are around somewhere. At least 1,000 miles in one direction. There's somebody.
When they find him is one of the scarier parts to me on Castaway, because he's just floating in the middle of freaking nothing.
Yeah.
And I can't with that, you know. It didn't freak me out on the cruise ship because there's 3,000 people right behind me.
Sure.
You know, but alone,
Yep.
yeah, Castaway's a good. The Martian, I never even thought. I mean, I have watched that movie several times. I read the book.
It
also.
never scared you? The idea, like, you feel so bad. He's stuck there by himself. Doesn't matter how smart you are. That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
You're alone. Anything could happen.
I guess I never got, because it, you know, the Martian's like trying to be real, but it leans towards fantasy. So I guess I've just looked at it that way. I never really let it get real like the ocean. Anyway, all great answers. Mike's wife also says Moana because of the lava monster. Moana's the one with the rock, I believe. I haven't seen that one either because I just, you know, don't watch movies anymore, apparently. Roger says Marathon Man. I have no clue.
I don't know what that is. Was he running a marathon? Because that is scary.
Irv says A Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
He says for the longest time he thought it was a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a weird movie, that's for sure.
That's another one where I've only seen in parts and bits and pieces and here and there and all of that stuff.
And The Simpsons do a treehouse horror episode of it.
They do a couple times. They reference
Do
Clockwork
they?
Orange throughout the 30 freaking years.
Well, yeah.
Heck yeah. Dorsey says Labyrinth.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Labyrinth?
I
David Bowie.
have seen pieces of it. I'm pretty sure I saw the whole thing at least once when I was younger. I cannot recall anything from it.
No kidding.
It is one that I definitely would want to see again, just so I, can refresh my memory.
I feel like they just did a sequel to Labyrinth, or was that Dark Crystal, or was it both? I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. Ralph says The Room.
I don't know what that one is either.
I think that's a Jennifer Lawrence one, right? Imagine being trapped in a room with your child and no one knows where you are and you don't know if you'll make it out.
Oh, that sounds pretty scary. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Or was that not Jennifer Lawrence? Captain Marvel. Whatever her name is. Mark says home birthing movies. I said he's insane.
Yeah, just a little insane there.
Snowman said his wedding video.
Oh, that's a great answer.
I said it's only scary because Tori has to be reminded she married him.
That's right.
That's
exactly right.
He agrees. All right, that was a lot of fun. Some of the scariest movies that aren't horror movies, they can get you. Field of Dreams scared the hell out of me when I was 8 years old. The first time I watched it, that voice was just
scary.
It would be like, boom! If you build it, it will come. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
It was pretty freaky to me.
The Mummy scared me when I was younger.
The Mummy.
The Mummy. Those bugs. I was so scared of those bugs.
The Rock's Mummy or whatever? Not The Rock. The one, Brendan Fraser's The Mummy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not the Mummy.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, his movie, yeah. Those bugs that would like crawl under your skin. Like that's so disgusting. And creepy. And I was afraid that those bugs would be somewhere out there. One of those bugs is going to get on me and get under my skin.
Oh, man. I'm surprised nobody said anything like Cliffhanger.
I don't know that one.
That's Sylvester Stallone, and it's a mountain climbing movie, and getting scared of being with heights and all that junk.
Pretty sure I've seen the cover of the VHS to that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I believe they just announced they're gonna try to do a sequel to that or something. Anyway.
Okay.
Day After Tomorrow.
That's scary.
That is scary. With all the weather and stuff, there's a whole bunch of flooding and whatnot going on in the Northeast right now, and.
Well, on that same, all those like science fiction
freaky
movies like that, The Core. I mean, The Core is kind of cheesy, but the whole idea behind it is
You do
freaky.
like The Core.
I do. It's such a bad movie.
It is.
Yeah.
I remember coming in one time. I think I came home from work or one time, and I went to change the channel because normally Naomi would just put the TV on and put something on.
Yeah.
And so I figured she wasn't watching. And she's like, hey, I was
I'm
watching
watching
that.
this.
I'm like, you were watching The Core?
Yeah, I was.
She's like,
Yeah.
you bet your ass I was.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Thanks, everybody, for the answers to what's the scariest movie that isn't a horror movie. Feel free to keep that going. You can.
Yeah.
We're not going to take the post down or anything. You can leave that up there. For next one, we have a little bit of a visual, but not really. I mean, if you can't have ketchup, doesn't exist. Never existed.
No ketchup.
Or it just runs out.
No, that just never existed.
Never existed.
Nobody decided to squish tomatoes and then like mix it with sugar and eat it.
Somebody gets an infinity gauntlet and snaps tomatoes away forever.
Right. Yeah.
Ketchup doesn't exist. What are you putting on your French fries?
We all know my answer.
We all know Naomi's answer.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you'll have to wait until next week to find out, as long
That's
as
right.
as long as she can contain herself.
And if you don't know the answer, you don't know me very well.
Well, you're very new around here, which is
Yeah.
cool. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm a little hurt.
Ketchup doesn't exist. What are you putting on your French fries? Want to know?
No one says mustard because that's weird.
I'm sure somebody would
I
probably
hope
go
somebody
for mustard.
does. Somebody say mustard and mean it. Be serious about it.
This is kind of funny because as I'm thinking about it, I haven't used ketchup much on French fries in a while.
Yeah.
I'll hold my answer till next week.
Okay.
But
It's not mustard.
it's definitely not mustard, that's for sure. But I'm looking, you know.
Like I'm thinking like regular yellow mustard with French fries.
Oh yeah, tangy and everything.
That's weird.
Nah, I don't need
I
it.
feel like as a kid, if there wasn't ketchup around, like yeah, absolutely, you had mustard, so you would do that. But no, that's weird. Maybe it's something
It
you're
really
supposed
is.
to like grow out of.
I'm trying to like. Oh, I forgot Brian's answers. I'm looking at my cheat sheet over here for our movie. But anyway, yes, mustard is hella strange. I can't. And then I went down the whole salad cream route.
Yeah.
If you are new to Luke and Naomi, you have to check out our YouTube page and check out the whole salad cream adventure.
Yeah.
Because when Brian from England first started listening to us, Naomi always talks about ranch dressing. And he was like, what the hell are you talking about? We have salad cream.
Yeah.
So he bought some actual
Ranch.
Hidden Valley, right?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
And
He
then
went for
we
the good
bought
stuff.
salad cream, and we send each other videos of trying it.
Trying this,
and
yeah.
long story short, he liked the ranch a hell of a lot better
Then we
liked
like salad cream, yeah.
But to know what salad cream is, you should see that video. It's
Yeah.
right on our YouTube page, Luke and Naomi on air, just like everything else.
And that stuff lived in our fridge for like 6 months before we were finally like, just throw it out.
Sorry, Brian. He understands.
We're not going
'cause
to put this on anything else.
He has written to Hidden Valley Ranch, or to Hidden Valley, or to whoever makes
Yeah.
Hidden Valley Craft, or I don't know. Doesn't matter. He's written to
I
him.
don't know. Kraft has their own ranch,
And
and
he was
it's
like,
terrible.
give it to me in England. They're like, listen, man, it's just you, So he's not a crusade over there.
I was going to say he's got to get the word out, hand out flyers.
But Brian's
Have you
answer.
tried this? Oh, you know what he needs? Like, you remember in magazines where they'd have the little, like, perfume?
Yes. Yes. Little ranch samples. But, and because Naomi's such a ranch freakazoid, we went on a whole Where Did Ranch Come From deep dive on our morning show like a couple years ago. And it was the whole thing of, like, they started selling it with Make It At Home.
Yeah.
So that Brian's got to start sending the packets out.
That's right. He's brewing it in his bathtub.
Yes. Brian's Hidden Valley Ranch. That's fantastic.
I can't believe we went down that road. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry.
Brian's Hidden Valley Ranch. He's at Formula One this week, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Pirelli sent him tickets.
I don't feel bad anymore.
Yeah. Pirelli sent him tickets to Formula One. So I want to know what that's all about, Brian.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we want to hear the story afterwards.
He can handle it. He can handle it.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Dark
And
Crystal
also-
is his answer. Also what? Where were you going?
Nope, I'm done. I am done.
She wasn't gonna let that go. The bathtub. It's doing a big old oar.
That's what I imagined too. Yeah.
The giant pizza oven thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Dark Crystal is his answer because there are some scary puppets. A couple of people said the Dark Crystal, and another one he says is the Perfect Storm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With the giant wave and all, So
Yeah.
that is a great answer. The nature movies and stuff like that can
Yeah.
can be pretty scary too. So great answers, and get working on that Bathtub Ranch.
can't. Like, I legit imagine that, and then all the, like, little packets for everybody to try the ranch.
Here you go. And,
Try
like,
this.
Hidden Valley Ranch contact information.
That's right.
Tell
Give them a call.
Tell them we need it over yonder.
Exactly. This could actually happen. It could.
We, if everybody just wrote emails to them on Brian's behalf. Yeah. Listen, the English need to know. They need to know about ranch. Yeah. Get this done. All right, that is enough. That is enough talking about ranch.
I feel like we haven't in a long time, so it just all came out now.
Stay tuned for Naomi's answer to if ketchup doesn't exist, what are you putting on your French fries?
If you can't guess it, you live under a rock.
All right, that is the homework for next week. Speaking of living under a rock.
Hey, that's where I am.
Let me just play this music now.
Yeah. It works,
All right. Let's get to our Under a Rock review.
How am I supposed to get all serious now?
I know it, right? Of Good Will Hunting, because we're going to go from Bathtub Ranch to...
We can't call it Bathtub Ranch.
Uncle Brian's Good Time Bathtub Hidden Valley Ranch.
You can't call it that. You can't. All right. No, we're going to go from that to a serious movie.
All right.
Give me a second to compose myself over here.
Good Will Hunting, written, of course, by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Which was pretty cool. I didn't know that, until it says on the screen that, hey, it was written by them.
I was wondering if you knew that or not, but
no,
we'll save that
idea.
for afterwards, too. Yeah. I haven't seen this in quite a while. It was really fun to watch it again. Robin Williams is so awesome in it. I mean, all the guys are. So, take it away.
All right. So jumping right into this, I don't know a lot about this movie, except the main character is supposed to be like a genius or something, solve some impossible formula or math equation on a chalkboard, or at least that's what sitcoms have had me believe.
Yeah, everything, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, we have the college. We find out about the equation on the chalkboard in the hallway right away. Matt Damon's the janitor. We know exactly what's going to happen. He's going to solve this formula. So, him and Ben Affleck, his friend Chucky, right?
Yep.
Yeah. They're hanging out at a bar, and Matt says something about, like, he's going to leave, and at this point, I'm pretty sure he's going to head to the school, solve that equation. We're jumping headfirst into this movie, and the only little piece of this movie that I know. So he didn't go straight to the school. He went home, wrote on his mirror the, equation, wiped it off.
Figured it out, yeah.
Yeah, did it anyways. All right. So we know he solves the equation. And apparently him and his group of friends are always looking for a fight.
Yeah, they're hoodlums, that's all.
Yeah.
They're South Boston kids. That's, Southie, all of that.
Really bad, though.
Yeah.
So Will and Morgan, and then there's the two other guys, Chucky, and I don't know who the other one is. I forget
what was his name? Bill, I think? Something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, Morgan is Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's little brother. So.
Yeah. They're fighting these guys, whatever, and Will ends up getting himself arrested, because that's a smart thing to do. So apparently there's more than one formula. Did not know that with this movie. So makes the movie a little bit more interesting, which is good. I just assumed it was some impossible formula.
You felt like the whole movie was based on the one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Again, I didn't know a lot about this movie. I know the plot line from sitcoms.
See, this is what Under a Rock reviews are all about, because you've taken all of the half-assed knowledge that you've picked up from the spoofs and the jokes and the sitcoms and all of that stuff, and now you're actually watching the movie expecting something probably completely different, to be honest.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
That's why
or at
it's
least
so much
a
fun.
little bit. All right, so we'll solve the first one. We know that. No one knows it was him. So nobody comes forward and claims that they did that. The professor ends up putting another equation on the chalkboard, harder than the last. He says it took them 2 years to prove this formula, equation, theory, whatever they call it. I don't know the difference between those three things. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
So just know when she says formula, that's what she's talking about.
Exactly. It's all the same.
Yep.
At least in my mind.
Pythagorean theorem.
So this point, betcha Will is going to solve it in a day, after he gets bailed out of jail or whatever.
Yeah, right. At this
'Cause
point,
that's
you're
where
like,
he is.
oh, hurry up and get out of jail. I want to see if you can figure this out.
Yeah, and you know he's going to figure out real fast. Yep, solved it, like, instantly. He actually gets caught as he's solving it, and, like, the way he's like, sorry, and is like, starts walking away. Like, it's such a weird scene. And then, of course, the professor loses sight of him, but his friend sees that the equation is correct, and they're just kind of blown away, like, this guy just figured this out, and this took us 2 years to do. So then we get to the bar scene. So it's Will and his buddies, his hangout group, you know.
His boys.
Yeah, his boys. Chucky goes to hit on some smart girls, because what it was, a Harvard bar or something.
Harvard bar.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All of that.
I had all I could do, gang, to contain myself while
You
we were
did
watching.
very well.
I wanted to so bad.
I know you did. I could feel
I
it.
just wanted to sit there going, Harvard. And I contained myself. So
You did. Anyway, so they're at a Harvard bar.
Harvard bar.
Yeah. They're at one of those.
I just waited till today. That's
Yeah,
honestly
now it's
what
all-
happened. Harvard bar.
Oh my gosh. We're going to get off the air too, and it's just, that's all I'm going to hear for the rest of the night. It's out. It's been released.
All right, so they're at the Harvard bar.
Yeah, that's where they are. So Chucky goes to, hit on some smart girls. This guy comes in, walks up, acting all tough, and you got Will in the background. Tough guy starts quoting, like, these history books, and Will was like, oh, that was from James Lemon and blah, blah, blah. That was on page 98, and basically, like, tells this guy off for passing off this information as his own information that he knew that he just, like, learned in class. So I'm guessing at this point, Will's got to have, like, photographic or eidetic memory or something at this point. And he is the one who ends up getting the girl's number. Even after, like, not paying any attention to her in the bar. Like, she comes up to him and she's like, well, I'm getting ready to leave, and gives out her number. Skylar.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
It's a pretty famous scene, too.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So the professor goes to, like, the workers building in the college to find out who the guy is that's solving these equations. Apparently he didn't show up for work, so they gave the professor the number to his parole officer. So we cut to the scene where the professor is, like, walking into a courtroom where Will is defending himself in what seems as very well, but no, not really.
Yeah, the judge was having none of it.
Yeah. The judge, was not having that. He ends up getting thrown in jail, and then the professor is waiting to talk with him. So the professor gives him the option: you can meet with him and do math and go to therapy, or you can rot in jail. So obviously he's going to choose math and therapy, but he doesn't want to go to therapy. So he basically makes a mockery of each of the therapists. We've got some great scenes following that.
Afternoon delight.
Yeah. And
There were some good ones.
Yes, there definitely was. So then he ends up meeting with the professor's friend, aka Robin Williams. So he's trying to play the little games that he does, and, Robin is just giving it right back to him. Like, I don't know, the kid's trying to be, like, a smart ass, and he's just like, nah, and just rolling with the punches, and does a great job of it. It's pretty entertaining. Until Will mentions his wife, then Robin Williams, aka Sean, ends up choking the kid and is like, if you mention my wife again, I will end you. Just pretty badass.
Super intense Robin Williams, yeah.
But I'm here for it.
Heck yeah.
Then he tells the professor he'll meet with the kid again. Pretty interesting. So Will ends up going on a date with the girl, Skylar, that he got the number from in the bar. He ended up actually calling her when he was in jail, which is weird, but that's cool.
Power play.
I hope they end up together because they seem really cute together, and they're back and forth, and they seem like they're going to fit really well. Then we cut to Will meeting with Sean again. He makes some great points about how Will can quote all these books and everything, and he's got all this information that he's learned and he's read, but he's never experienced any of those things. He doesn't know what love is. You can read about love. You've never experienced love. You don't know. It's basically saying you're just a kid. You just don't know.
Right.
One of my favorite things about that scene is while Robin Williams is giving this monologue is you got Will sitting there they're on a bench, like, overlooking a pond. So you got Robin Williams doing his little monologue, and Will's just sitting there like, yeah, whatever. But every once in a while, you see his eyes kind of, like, dart over. And, like, it's just so well done because it feels very believable that it's when someone's telling you and calling you out on your crap, basically. There was, like, a little bit of embarrassment there. There was a little bit of, you know, I don't know, that he's realizing that he's being called out.
Yeah, like, he knew.
that.
Yeah, he knew that you know, Sean was right, and a little bashful, and yeah,
absolutely. So the kid continues to see Sean. The one session, they don't even talk the whole time. He's just, like, counting the minutes. Then the next one, Sean is, like, falling asleep because they're still not talking. Then Will tells a joke, and it actually gets them talking. It gets the ball rolling here. So Sean talks about all the imperfections, about the things like that about his wife that makes him miss her the most. It's a great monologue about, you know, true love and being imperfect but perfect for each other. There was some good writing. Some good...
Maddie D.
Yeah, some good monologue moments in this movie for sure.
Affleck and Damon, man.
So, of course, Will is opening up more with Skylar. They go on another date. He takes her to meet his friends, but he doesn't take her to his house or to meet his 12 brothers that he says he has, which we all know he's lying about. Even she does. But he is opening up a little bit, still hiding who he really is. All right, so we cut to the professor and the therapist are at a bar. The professor wants the therapist to start talking to Will about his future. You know, the kid's starting to get job offers because he is so smart. And Sean, the therapist, wants him to kind of figure out what he wants to do. If, you know, do you want to continue to pursue math or what? You know, this is for you. This is your future. And the professor is taking it the route as, you know, this is for the common good. He's so smart. He could advance, you know, mathematical theories and all of that stuff hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, this kid has to follow that pathway. So, of course, they get a little heated between the two of them. Will was supposed to be meeting with one of the potential employers that the professor had set up, but we find his friend Chucky instead.
Oh, Affleck was great as a kid.
Yeah.
This Dazed and Confused, and pretty much anything he did with Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Am I pushing that table away from you?
Yes, you are.
My bad.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, well, anything Affleck as a kid, it's just it's really funny.
Yeah, and it's just the character's great, you know. So, anyways, supposed to be meeting with these potential employers, and we got Chucky there instead. And Chucky's basically saying, like, you know, I need money first.
What was he, retainer? Was that what he said?
He kept yelling retainer.
Just hollering retainer.
Yeah.
They're like, but we've offered you a job.
They were saying like $84,000, you know. So, like, this kid is going to get a high-paying job right off the bat. This movie is how many years old? So even $84,000 is even that much more. He's not a college graduate, and he's going to have all these opportunities. $84,000 right off the gate. And he's like, nah, I need $200 up front. So they basically give him like $70-something that they had in their pockets, and he pockets it and walks away. He made some money.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Which was great. It was a good scene. All right. So now we get into some really emotional stuff. So Skylar ends up asking, asks Will to go to California with her, and he basically starts freaking out, like hardcore freaking out. He's like, you're going to find a part of me that you don't like. You're going to break up with me. I'm going to be stuck in California. And she's saying, I want to give it a shot. But then he basically starts attacking her, calling her like a trust fund baby and all that. Digs up some terrible things about his own past, like the fact that he's an orphan and he had cigarettes put out on him and he's got a scar from a stab wound, all that. And just basically unloads on her. And screaming in her face, too, the entire time. It's a very intense scene, and he just goes berserk. And she's like, I just want you to say that you don't love me, and then I'll leave you alone. I'll stop calling. I'll stop trying to get you to go, all of that. And he says, I don't love you, and walks out. And that's the moment that I wanted to shut off the movie. I was done. Goodbye, Will. You are a terrible person. I hope you don't get the girl in the end. How could you be so heartless? This movie is terrible.
Naomi threw a fit. I'm not kidding. Threw a fit. Go die! She's hollering at him.
Yeah, I
hollering
normally
at Matt Damon.
Would leave most of the commentary to myself, but not at this moment. That was a horrible scene. I understand that you had a traumatic childhood.
Absolutely hollering.
But no way. You cannot treat somebody else like that and then expect to get them in the end.
I'm not even kidding. I for a second thought she was going to stop watching the movie.
I was not interested in
not even kidding.
Anymore. Nope. Absolutely
Hilarious.
not. I hold grudges, and I hold them for a long time. Matt Damon, you did some great work, but I'm done with you. You can stay on Mars.
That's right.
Done.
Nailed it.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, he goes and meets with the professor and basically going to burn that bridge, too. So, he hands over some paperwork to the professor, you know, more proofs, more formulas, and all that stuff that they've been working on. And the professor is basically like, well, is it this? Did you look at this? And he's just like, dude, it's correct. Like, I can do this in my sleep. This means nothing to me. And starts yelling at the professor for it being so easy for him, and he can do all this math and the professor can't, and he's got to explain it to him. And again, he's just being mean to everyone, burning all those bridges. I mean, I get that the professor doesn't want him to waste his life. We've talked about that before in the bar scene where he's just like, hey, this is for the common good.
He doesn't want the kid who could potentially change the world just wandering out there laying brick.
Exactly. So, you know, he doesn't want this kid wasting his life, but at the same time, it's not his life. It's not really his choice what this kid ends up doing. All right. So at 1.2, during all of this, Will meets with NSA and basically tells them he doesn't want to break codes for them. That's a great scene. Basically laying out, you know, what's going to happen if he breaks this code and how it's going to, you know, dramatically ruin so many people's lives. And he's just not going to do that.
Really, really well done scene, too. Yeah, that's really funny.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, apparently you got to watch Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you do know what I'm talking about but don't know the details, it's time to rewatch
Good
Will Hunting.
If you haven't seen any of these movies in a while, you should watch them.
Yeah.
With us, before us, after us, something. But it's definitely an excuse to check all these movies out.
Yeah. All right. So Will goes to another therapy session. You know, we got Sean there, basically like, hey, you don't have to do day work. You can do whatever you want to do. You can, you know, follow this math field. You can do something else. And is asking him, what does he want to do? And of course, Will gives him the smart-ass answer and talking about being a shepherd. So Sean kicks him out. Goodbye. I'm done with you. You've wasted my time. So his friend Chucky ends up talking to him. They're like laying brick or construction or whatever the heck they're doing. I think it's lunchtime. And is basically saying like, no, you don't owe it to yourself to go out and do something. You owe it to me. You owe it to us. You owe it to your friends. Because he's got talent. He's got this great skill that he's not going to do anything with. While the rest of everybody else is like, I'd kill for that skill, you know? Of course I want to be like you. I'd pack up and leave in a second. I don't want to stay here.
It was a cool, you know, brotherly scene.
Yeah. And they tell him, you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket. And basically, like, get out there and use this to your advantage. So Will ends up going to another therapy session. And it's, you know, it's that weird, like, you can tell that he's too proud to be like, hey, I'm sorry for being a jerk every single time you talk to me.
Yeah, right.
But it's basically like, so, you know, that's my file, what's in there, all of that kind of stuff. And basically finds out that Sean was abused too as a kid. So they really bond over that. Then Sean's like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. and keeps saying, it's not your fault. And Will's like, I know, dude, I know. Then stop. I know it's not my fault. Until he basically breaks Will down, and Will is sobbing uncontrollably, and we're tearing down some emotional walls here. All right, so he breaks down. Cool, he can move on with his life and start making good choices.
Start rebuilding.
Yeah,
going the right direction. So,
exactly.
Man, there's some really good scenes again with the Robin Williams. He's just so awesome in this.
Yeah. So Will ends up deciding to go to California, go get Skylar. The girl that he was more than a jerk to, so bad. In between, saying, I don't love you, and walking out that door like a jerk. There was another scene in there where he calls her.
The phone call, yeah.
Yeah, and he's still a jerk. So he decides he's going to go out to California to go get Skylar. Leaves a note in Sean's mailbox that says, I had to go see about a girl, which is basically stealing the line from the therapist before, because he said that's how he met his wife, was because he had to go see about a girl.
He blew off Game 6 of the World Series of whatever year.
Yeah.
To
go see
to
about
meet
a
his
girl.
wife, basically.
Yeah. So we see Will driving off down some country roads in the vehicle that his brother gave him for his 21st birthday, so he could get to and from college, because that's what he was going to do before he decided, you know what, I'm going to go to California and get Skylar. So again, the movie ends with him driving down those country roads. We've got the credits rolling across the screen, and I am just still screaming, I hope she doesn't take him back. Like, I don't care that you're driving all across the country. She shouldn't. That is...
Well, it's great because this movie's released in 1997, so you're talking about, there's the scene right towards the end, too, where Sean gives him the number. Harry, you can leave a message with this service I'll check in with, but I'm going to be traveling, so it'll be hard to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
That's great. 25 years later, when we're like, huh? How, he can't just call her? But yeah, it's pretty neat because it's like,
he was mean to her so many times. You're going to just start knocking on doors in San Francisco and try to find her? No, absolutely
not. He's going to show, well, he knows what college, so he'll show up there. And then good luck to you. But like,
I hope she's with some other guy.
You gotta wait the whole however long it takes you to drive across country by yourself. Solid week, I'm sure.
Well, he should have thought about that before being a jerk.
And you didn't want to get trapped in California before.
Yeah. Now what? All right, that's the end of Good Will Hunting. A great movie. A terrible boy.
A terrible boy.
Yeah.
Bob. All right, well, cool. Thank you so much for watching Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
And, taking the notes and doing all that. Great review, just as I thought. Here's your extra bonus review questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you disappointed that they didn't say Good Will Hunting in the movie?
I didn't even notice.
Wouldn't it have been weird, though, if they tried to slip it in?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
You can't really do that with the more serious movies. It's just weird.
Yeah. I don't know. You can't.
I don't know. Sometimes there's a time and a place for it.
You can't. If Red at the end
was Hunting his last name? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be good.
Yeah, good at math.
Apparently he's not good in life. Relationships?
You just picture Robin Williams. You're good, Will Hunting. It would have been terrible.
Yeah, it would.
Picture Red at the end of Shawshank Redemption, going, Andy Dufresne, traveling however many miles down the Pacific coast. Andy Dufresne got his Shawshank Redemption.
That's weird.
It would have been terrible. You can't do that with serious movies. You just can't.
No.
All right, did you like it?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Step back. The whole movie. Did you like it?
The movie was great.
Okay. So, yes, you liked it.
For the most part.
All right. What did you know about Good Will Hunting?
Like I had mentioned before, what I had learned in sitcoms, that, this guy's going to be really good at math, figure out things. But again, I thought it was one equation on a chalkboard, and that's it.
All right. So, thoughts going in?
I knew it was going to be a serious movie, even with Robin Williams in there. So that was a surprise, because I don't think I've seen any serious Robin Williams movies.
I think it's my first and only. I never watched his crazy serious stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't want to. I just never got to it. Never came across.
Yeah.
In whatever. So yeah, it's probably probably my only, unless there's a glaring one that I'm forgetting or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, so I knew it was going to be more serious and all of that. Didn't really know, too much more than that.
Okay. What surprised you?
Well,
you said that the guys wrote it. You didn't know
that was definitely a surprise there. There wasn't really anything that jumped out and was like, oh my gosh, about this movie. It's not a very surprising movie.
Yeah, right. I believe it won an Oscar. Do you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it got Best Picture or Best Original Screenplay. Like those two won. I think that's what it was. It won like screenplay or something like that, and it won those guys that award like super early on in their careers and stuff like that, which is such a big deal. All right, so would you have liked this movie more or less if you were younger? Go with 16.
I feel like probably less.
Less?
Just because it is a more serious movie. I'd probably relate to Will a little bit more and be like, yeah,
all right.
Fight the system and all of that. But other than that, no, I think I'd probably like it less.
Less, okay. What was your favorite part?
There was quite a few. I mean, between the bar scene right in the beginning where, again, he's just so smart and he's showing off how smart he is.
That is such a cool scene.
Very entertaining. Robin Williams has a couple different monologues. Again, kid, you can read all this kind of stuff, whatever, but you haven't experienced, you don't know. That's a great monologue there. The monologue about, love and the imperfections that make two people perfect. And that's a great one too. There's a lot of good writing to it. So yeah, those were my favorite parts.
All right,
all
cool,
the good
yeah.
writing scenes.
Well, hey, yeah, the great scenes were your favorite parts.
Yeah.
We know what your least favorite part was.
Him being a jerk. Yes.
Did that really ruin the movie for you?
It really bothered me. And it really bothers me that
good writing.
she even, talks to him on the phone after that.
She likes him.
Yeah, but I mean being screamed in the face like that while he's like punching the wall like beside her.
Yeah.
That's
That's scary.
It is, and that's going down a troubling route. And I get, again, he had a bad past, and that's, whatever, and it's the only time that he acted like that. But it's a slippery slope, okay? So, no, that did actually make me run into a few things for the rest of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it to someone else who hasn't seen it?
Oh, of course.
Gotta see Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Would you watch it again?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So you would stop if it's on TV then?
Probably. If I'm in the mood for something serious,
Yeah. Or if it's right at that bar scene.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'd rewatch that over and over again because that's just great.
It is super good.
Or any of, again, Robin Williams' monologues in there. Pretty badass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And are you happy you watched it?
Of course.
All right. Well, that wraps up the Naomi's Under a Rock review of Good Will Hunting. Sounds good. I don't know what the hell we're going to watch next week.
Yeah.
No clue what genre. And as we get into that, I want to throw this out there because I don't know what to do here. We've got a couple of movies on our list that every time, we sit down and start talking about what our movie of the week is going to be, I want to just, I sometimes don't even say the movies out loud because it's like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
There's two movies that I've never seen, or at least never seen all the way through and all of that. And you've never seen either. They're on the list. We probably should watch them. I just don't want to.
What are they?
Footloose and Dirty Dancing.
That's going to happen eventually. It's got to. I mean, everybody knows those movies.
Do I really... I mean,
we're just going to sit down and watch them. It'll be fine.
It'll
Add
be both
Grease
of
to
our
that list, too.
It'll be both of our Under a Rocks because I've never seen Footloose.
Yeah. You'll have to ask yourself the questions.
Yeah, for sure. Or I'll hand you the phone and then you can...
Yeah.
That's where I keep the list. And I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of Dirty Dancing and I'm sure I can get through that. Swayze's okay.
Yeah.
But
you'll be fine.
Is Footloose still the greatest movie ever? Never was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll be fine. We'll watch them eventually.
Right.
I mean, we've got... How many movies you got on that list? At least 50. So We'll get to them eventually within the next couple of years.
Could definitely use some suggestions for more movies.
That's
Take
right.
longer to get to Footloose.
That's right.
That's for sure. We still got to do the reverse one also with Speed.
That's right.
If we're still going to do that. And I don't know. We'll figure out something for next week, though. We've got some cool stuff on the list. I know Aaron Brockovich is coming up. We were kind of zeroing in, circling around that one. Never-ending Story, I really want to get to at some point. Ghostbusters 2 as well. That'll be our second sequel.
We'll get to all these movies. We got plenty of time. That's fine.
Ghostbusters 2 is fun. I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay. That's it for the review section of the show.
All right. It's time for your thought of the day.
Now it's the singing review part.
That's right.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
I'm going to give you a B-. All right.
All right.
Makeup shouldn't be allowed in beauty contests.
Wow.
Shouldn't you be pretty on your own? That's why you're supposed to win.
That's deep. Some of these make me pause where I'm going to ruin the show because I just want to think about that statement for a minute.
You want to find out if that person's actually pretty or if they're just really good at doing their makeup. Think about it.
Yikes.
All right, Luke, you gonna leave us with a laugh?
I'm going to do my best.
I bet you won't.
We are we're running low on the dad jokes from the 100 greatest dad jokes of all time.
It's Prime Day. You should have went and bought another dad joke.
I don't have a Prime account, so that's not happening. Anyway, I will find more, Brian. You shouldn't be sending us any more books, that's for sure.
That's right.
Definitely appreciate this one, though. Never trust stairs. They're always up to something.
That's stupid. Where did those stairs go? Up.
That's right. So you think the joke's stupid in the book, but in Ghostbusters, it's hilarious.
Look, Bill Murray can do no wrong, so...
All right. And did you hear the rumor about the butter?
No.
Well, I'm not going to spread it.
That's so stupid.
That's episode 51. Thank you so much
from how bad these are.
Thank y'all so much for coming back after we took a week off selfishly and enjoyed the beach and all of that stuff.
That's right.
We love you all to death.
We do.
Tell your friends.
And your family.
And your family.
And your acquaintances and coworkers and everybody you know.
You know, if one person tells one person and all those people actually listen, we'd be rich by now. It'd be easier to do. I'll make a promise. If we can make some real money off this show, we'll do it live every morning.
That's right.
We can
but
do that.
we gotta be making money off of it.
But that's a pretty big GoFundMe.
Huge.
It'd be a huge GoFundMe.
Huge. You'd look at that and be like, nah, dude, you guys ain't that good.
Luke and Naomi
I
on
like
air.
you guys, but not that much.
Spotify, Apple, whatever the hell it's called, Google, Amazon.
Everywhere.
Check out the YouTube page, too. There's some old stuff up there.
Yeah.
I haven't updated the new episodes. I will eventually someday. Yeah. But you got to see, if you haven't, if you're new, like I mentioned before, check out the salad cream video. That is very interesting. And Brian's delight when he tastes ranch for the first time. It's just fantastic.
It's great, yeah.
Don't forget the homework. If ketchup doesn't exist, what are you putting on your French fries? I think we all know what Naomi's answer is.
Yeah, we already know.
Uncle Brian's bathtub ranch.
I'm going to stick to just regular Hidden Valley.
Episode 52 next week. Until then, have some fun.
Year.
Have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.